Hey everyone, Stephen Glicker here from Roll from Combat, and I just want to take a look at these new dates that WoTC announced yesterday for their D&D releases and compare it to the leaked dates because, well, it looks like that the D&D core books were simply delayed and that they were always supposed to come out on those original leaked dates. So let's take a look at this, shall we? So here we go. Back in December, PAX Unplugged, during the WoTC segment, had all these images come out where they were, coming out with information about all their upcoming books. And at the bottom of these images, there were dates that were attached to them. And these were the dates. They had the core rule book, the players, probably, it just said Player's Handbook. Player's Handbook, May 21st, Vecna, May 21st, Quest of the Infinite Staircase, July 16th, and Making of D&D, June 18th. Well, let's take a look at the real dates here. Let's see, Eye of Vecna, May 21st, May 21st, that looks about right. And Quest of the Infinite Staircase, so July 16th, and it's coming out on July 16th. And let's see, Making Original D&D, June 18th, and June 18th. What an amazing coincidence that these dates just happen to match up perfectly with those, quote, ignore the person behind the curtain leaked dates that came out during PAX. And yeah, I said this last time, is that I heard through the grapevine that they've been printing these books, and the number of books that they need to print and the amount of books they need to, distribute is so large that they can't just whip this up, okay? They can't just throw this together, print up hundreds of thousands, if not millions of copies of these books and distribute them worldwide at the drop of a hat. They've been planning this for quite a while. And I am positive that this was the original date, that this May 21st was originally the date. I'm also pretty positive that they've been printing these ahead of time, and I explained in a prior video the way that works is that when you print up books, you do it in signatures of 16 pages at a time. And you can do something like print up the cover and print up some of the signatures ahead of time. Like, for example, let's just say, I'm just going to make up a number. Imagine there's going to be 20 signatures in the book. That's 20 segments of 16. And they know for a fact that 16 of those segments, I'm using 16 a lot, 16 of those segments are already done. Okay, they're not going to change them, ever. So they print them up. They print them up ahead of time. They get that ready, and then maybe they only have one or two signatures left that they need to print up. And then they print it up, and then they bind it all at the end. So that's the way they could have done it. I am positive that these were the original dates, that it was supposed to come out in May, because that would have been the perfect time, especially for the Player's Handbook. You want it to come out, you get the entire summer, and not only that, let's take a look at this. Look at all these conventions they're going to. They're going to a lot of conventions. They're going to PAX East, they're going to ALA, San Diego Comic-Con, Gen Con, PAX West, Game Hall, Big Bad Con, MCM London, PAX Unplugged. Okay, I mean, this is a lot of cons. And they pretty much have disappeared from cons. So it makes sense that the Player's Handbook would be released during con season. They would be there. They would promote it. They would run games and, just get the word out. And now their new dates, it's like September 17th. So they completely missed the con season. Okay. I meant they have, Save Game Hold Con and Big Bad Con. And the DM's guide in November, which is pretty much, this is about as late as you can release a book. November 12th, that is it. That is about as, you can't release it much later, okay, and not hit, the Christmas season. And then Monster Manual's completely missing. That's hitting February 18th next year. So what does this all mean? In my opinion, and let's switch to the single person cam. In my opinion, the dates were missed. For whatever reason, I actually believe that the reaction to the latest playtest, if you remember, was so negative and then so positive that they might have delayed to actually, change some of the classes and update some of the actual classes in the books to better reflect what was done in the playtest, because what happens if they actually put out the playtest material and everyone hated what was in the playtest material, and then they, come up with new material, and the playtest material, whether good or bad or otherwise, doesn't match the book? Like, people would be going crazy. People would say, wait a second, why is our playtest information not showing up in the player's handbook? So that's one possibility. Another possibility is that something technical happened, that they needed to actually program everything, and they needed to get everything into D&D Beyond and the virtual TTT and other, technical aspects, and they couldn't get it done in time, and they had to delay the actual player's handbook.
I'm tired of playing my favorite tabletop RPGs as one of the old boring races. I don't want those generic, store-brand backstories. I want to roll a character with a bit more character. Well, Roll for Combat is here to help with their incredible new book, Battle Zoo Ancestry's Classic Creatures, which gives you the power to create the character of your dreams. Dig into 12 unique playable monster races in this beautifully printed, massive, hardcover book filled with in-depth descriptions, abilities, lore, and more. Send that dusty old dwarf right back to the mines and live out your isekai fantasy by becoming an actual intelligent weapon that you wield yourself. Or you could let a friend grab you instead. Teamwork. Put that elf back on the shelf and become a sentient dungeon, complete with traps, treasures, and a living avatar. You could even put an end to the age of man and become a shape-shifting mimic. You know, those things that gave you trust issues ever since you were eaten by one in Dark Souls? Ooh, that could be you. Click the link below or head on over to battlezoo.com to secure your copy of Battle Zoo Ancestry's Classic Creatures today and become the life of your adventuring party.
It's really bad because the player's handbook, look, it's not going to cost them that much. And I know people are saying, well, no one's excited about the player's handbook. No one's excited about it. No one's talking about it. No one's going to buy it. I hate to break it to you. It's going to sell. It's going to sell very well. The Player's Handbook is one of the best-selling books on Amazon in history, ever. It sells every single month consistently. They sell about 3,000 copies of the Player's Handbook a week, every single week since the beginning of time. Some weeks it's more, sometimes it's actually never less. It's always around that. And that is something that they like. They like it that the book is constantly selling a certain amount. So when this comes out, I know no one's excited about it and no one's talking about it, but I also remember that no one was excited about Harry Potter and the Harry Potter game, and people weren't really talking about it, and then it sold 22 million copies and it was the best-selling video game last year. And just because it's not being talked about doesn't mean people aren't going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. I'm sure all my friends who play Pathfinder, they're still going to buy it because you're still interested, if anything, just for the art and just to be in the know. And it can have the monopoly effect, which is that people buy it and then they put it on their shelf and they never use it. They buy it, they look at it once, and then they put it on their shelf. Half of every single household in America has a Monopoly set. Are everyone in America playing Monopoly? No, they're not. No one plays Monopoly. Okay, not no one, but you know what I mean. Okay, considering half of Americans have a Monopoly set in their house, that would mean that half of America is always playing Monopoly. I don't even think 0.001% of America plays Monopoly, but yet everyone has a Monopoly set because it's just something you have. Okay, this is going to be very similar, that people are going to buy. And I hate to say it, Hasbro just wants people to actually buy the book. So what's going on with these delays? I really don't know. As I said, I'm going to try to find out. I'm going to really look into this. One thing that is going to be fascinating is that GAMA is next month. It's actually in a few weeks. And GAMA is the trade show where WoTC is going to be there. Actually, everyone's going to be there. And they have to sort of tell the truth. It's different people there. These are people that are retailers and people own stores that they're actually buying, the books from WoTC. So the people who go to GAMA are usually a little bit more truthful, in my opinion, and they'll actually a little easier to get information from. So I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can find out and see if I can, I have a feeling it's something probably fairly innocent. I have a feeling it's nothing nefarious that, they're feeling like, oh, we can sell more if we release this in September. I have a feeling maybe it could be something as simple as they wanted to play test it more. It could be something as simple as that they needed more time to get the electronic side working, that they wanted to give developers more time so they can release content to go along with the D&D 2024. It really just could be one of those three, if not all three, or something completely different. But again, I completely 100% believe that May 21st was the original date. And for whatever reason, it slipped. I guess we'll find out in a few weeks. So, don't forget, go to yearmonsters.com if you want to play one of 12 amazing new ancestries, or species, or races, whatever you want to call them, for Pathfinder or D&D, including the Mimic. And you can get this very cool Mimic's little chest. Look at this little chest. Listen to that thing. So freaking loud. You can play a doppelganger. You can play a dungeon. You can play a demon. You can play a Medusa. You can play, what else do we got here? Gremlins, intelligent weapons, Oni. This stuff is awesome. You were gonna love it. And our special edition, the cover for a special edition, you won't believe this thing. It's insane. So check it out, yearmonsters.com. It only goes a few more weeks, and when it's over, it's over. You won't be able to get the Mimic, and you won't be able to get the special edition. So check it out today. Otherwise, I will be on Roll for Combat Live tomorrow, and we have Greg Gillespie on, who wrote this. He does nothing but mega dungeons, and he's going to be on, and we're going to talk about writing a mega dungeon. So tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, Roll for Combat Live, where you can check out myself, Mark, and Greg. Anyhow, with that, I will see you and talk to you guys later.